A dynamic and modern city, born from the harmony of the old and the new, the shining star of Turkey, Eskişehir. An age-long city nourished by two rivers and multiple cultures. Eskişehir today is a truly industrialized city, and she is one of the top contributing cities to the Turkish economy. Taking advantage of the geographical position, Eskişehir stands at the door to the Western world for Anatolia. Being at the junction points of both railways and highways, being developed both in industry and agriculture, and having rich subterranean resources, make Eskişehir an important trade center in Anatolia. This city witnessed the foundation and the liberation. This city of love is also the homeland of Yunus Emre, the cradle of humor, heritage of Nasreddin Hoca, the legendary city which also hosted Batal Gazi. Eskişehir is like an open-air museum with her rich history. Her centuries-old history has penetrated into every corner of the city. Any testimonial within the history would whisper you her name. If you listen to this voice, you will find yourself in 3000 BC. That's because her past goes as far as the Bronze Age. Starting from the 9th century BC, they built a powerful state in central Anatolia, with Gordium as their capital city. From the 8th century BC to the early 6th century, a lot of fortified Phrygian settlements were established in the deep valleys of the region. The most ancient stories we hear of originate from Eskişehir. The Phrygian king Midas must have been the most popular king of all times in Anatolia, not only with his donkey ears, but also with his ability to change everything he touched into gold, which brought him to the verge of starvation. There are a lot of inscribed monuments in and around Midas, the city of Mother Goddess Cybele. You should definitely see the astounding Midas monument in Yazlıkaya. Eskişehir and its hinterlands became a part of the Eastern Roman Empire during the 4th and 13th centuries BC. As the trade centers began to develop in central Anatolia in this era, new settlements were established around Eskişehir. Sivrihisar, or Justinianopolis, which is named after the Emperor Justinian, was one of the top cities of the time. You can observe the Selçuk heritage all around Sivrihisar, where Nasreddin Hoca was born. You must definitely see the former Front Principality Sivrihisar, including the magnificent artifacts in the older alleys, ancient Phrygian city Pessinus, and Balıkdarı, Bird's Haven. A Phrygian city of Dorileo was born at the junction of the main roads, which was wealthy and was famous with its spas. The Ottomans won their first victories at Eskişehir. And Karacahisar is the first fortress the Ottomans invaded. It still resists time with its partially fallen walls, 2 bastions, and the fortress itself. Ataturk visited Eskişehir, the most after Istanbul. The most important victories of the Turkish Independence War were won on these lands. The First İnönü and Second İnönü victories strengthened the belief in independence in Turkish people's minds. Narrow alleys, curly roads, beautiful houses, museums. Odunpazarı is a historical town which makes you feel the spirit of the past and the essence of the city. It is one of the first destinations of visitors. Odun Pazarı, or Sultanönü, as it has been called since the 14th century, shows us how much the Selçuks and the Ottomans cared to build the traditional pattern. Odun Pazarı is the first Turkish settlement in Eskişehir. Another gift from the heart of Eskişehir to our culture is Yunus Emre. The love messenger was born in Eskişehir in the 13th century. His love is so big that it doesn't only cover humans but all the creatures living or non-living. His poetry sometimes describes the love of Allah and sometimes the love of humans. His craft touches the hearts of the people. His work is universal, just like love itself. Yunus Emre was born in the village of Sarıköy, or Yunus Emre village as it is called now, which is part of the Mihalcık town with Eskişehir city in the year 1240. He passed away in 1320 in the same place. Yunus Emre's poetry is important not only because of the beauty of his content, but also the way in which he uses the language. One of the places you should definitely see is Seyit Gazi, the home of the Turkish Islam fighters Alperens. Seyit Gazi has been a main settlement center for centuries, and it was the home of some of the most heroic figures of the veteran dervishes who played a great role in Turkifying and Islamifying Anatolian soils. The magnificent traces of several cultures which intercept on the main road still remains today. The inn and the surroundings should also be seen. Eskişehir is one of the top cities in the best living conditions list based on the standards defined by various institutions. The index is calculated based on various parameters such as the economy, health, education, security, urban life and cultural activities. Eskişehir has been in the first three almost all of the time, and living quality is rising each passing day. Living in Eskişehir is like a beautiful tune for the ears. One might love to be a part of this tune as well as its culture, its life and its natural environment. Are you ready to explore this modern, lively and cosmopolitan city on the banks of the Porsuk River? The river is a good option to travel along for the entire day. You can go shopping as much as you like, or discover different cuisines, or spend your time in whichever amusement fits you best. You will find a lot of shops and several shopping centers around the river Porsuk. The city launched a development campaign right after the Independence War, and education is the field Eskişehir has succeeded in the most. Eskişehir is a city of students and youth. Anatolian University was founded in 1958, and it is a university of Furs. This top university has the most beautiful campus in Turkey. Anatolian University has 40,000 students, 28,000 of which are on site. Eskişehir Osman Gazi University was founded in August 1993. The faculties of medicine, engineering, architecture, and science literature date back to 1970. Beyond the standard of education, the university aims to provide its students with the ability to understand the problems of the country and the world, along with trying to find solutions. Kent Park. The 300,000 square meter Kent Park is built next to the long-distance bus terminal. It also has a bank on the Porsuk River, so it can be reached by the boats on the river as well. Eskişehir is a city of Furs. The first Turkish automobile, Devrim, or Revolution, was produced in Eskişehir. Only one of the 4 automobiles which were made in 1961 still remain today. Revolution is kept in a special glass garage in the garden of Tulumsaç and is still functional. Eskişehir is a city of change and production. In the most environmentalist industrial site of Turkey, advanced ceramics business, machine production and metal tool production businesses, aviation and defense business are the leading fields. Industrial production began in Eskişehir with cart production, and then care workshops were founded which were the foundation of the Tulumsaç. Today, Eskişehir has the leading market share in plane engine production, diesel locomotive and borax production. Boron, also known as industrial salt, is used in many industrial processes. The majority of the boron reserve in Turkey is located in the Kırka town of Eskişehir. The football club, founded in 1965 and the first Anatolian club to win the Turkish Prime Ministry Cup and the Turkish Presidential Cup. This game has become an Anatolian legend with the first stands show in Turkey. Sepiolite has been known and used for 5,000 years. It might be the perfect souvenir for you to remember Eskişehir. You can purchase tobacco pipes, knickknacks, or other accessories made from sepiolite or meerschaum. Many aerial sports can be practiced in Turkey's first aerial center, the İnönü Turkish Aerial Institution, Flying Training Center. Eskişehir is also known for the health-giving spas which have been used to heal many diseases since the beginning of time. Eskişehir cuisine is affected in large part from the immigrants who came from the Balkans and the Caucasus. Çiğ börek is an Eskişehir-specific pie which should definitely be tasted. You must visit the museums to understand the history and the identity of the ancient city. Some of the museums host the artworks of Turkish and foreign artists. Some of the museums contain historical artifacts. No matter which museum you visit, you will have a great time. It's time to have fun when the night lights fall onto the city. Eskişehir is full of life with several entertainment locations which host many concerts and festivals. This is a true culture and art city with universities, symphony orchestras, museums which contain genuine and priceless pieces, opera and play theaters, and cultural activities. The cultural potential and the dynamics of the city make her one of the most important centers of the region, and her contribution to the contemporary arts is increasing each passing day. Living in Eskişehir is like a beautiful tune for the ears. One might love to be a part of this tune, as well as its culture, its life, and its natural environment.